Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. We do have a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, the signing of a left winger for Barcelona is the utmost priority in the 2025 summer transfer window, and the club now are trying to identify the main target for that position in order to start pursuing it in the summer. The options are there and the pros and cons for both sides are there as well. We'll discuss that alongside the signing of Jonathan Tah, which the club do want to complete in the month of January. Again, he will not join this season. He will be signing a pre-contractual agreement for the coming season, but again, the club do want to fend off any other clubs battling for the free agent signing of Tah, and they want to get his signing done as quickly and effectively as possible in January in order to, of course, afterwards focus on contract renewals. We have big updates on both Ronald Araujo and Frenkie de Jong's renewals, and again, they're both in a very tight situation at Barcelona. And finally, we have some good news, of course, on the registration of both Dani, Olmo, and Víctor, which of course is all set to be done before the deadline. And we'll take you guys through that roller coaster of what Laporta had to do in order to get these two players registered in time for the second half of the season. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try to get the 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. The first report that we do have is coming in from Sport about Barcelona's pursuit in signing a left winger. They've come out saying that one of Barcelona's goals this summer is to strengthen the team with a winger, and the options are as follows: Nico Williams or Rafael Leao. In Barcelona, there is a division over Leao due to his recent behavior with Milan. If you don't know, there's been some altercation between him and the AC Milan manager, and I saw him being out of the squad for quite some time. I believe in the month of November-ish, and then he returned. Then he, of course, scored the goal, got the assist when AC Milan beat Madrid at the Bernabeu, but there was a bit of controversy there. Now, I will say that Nico Williams himself is no walk in the park either, but I think as long as it's not something huge, it shouldn't really be a factor. For me, something huge is that something, for example, like Marcus Rashford, who lets to go partying and stuff like this on match day or on training days. That is where I think a problem comes in. Having, the demeanor or a profile like the mindset of Ibrahimovic at Barcelona maybe isn't the best either, but it was all in good faith for the betterment of the team, not for personal gain. I think that's where the Rafael Leao situation had to deal with. I think, honestly, it really comes down to numbers. And I'm talking about numbers in terms of price. I'm talking numbers in terms of age as well. Who can give Barcelona the most? Who has the most longevity for the right price? Leao will cost you 70 to 80. Nico Williams will cost you around 60. Leao is a couple years older. Take your pick of the bunch, pretty much. So wait and see what Barcelona do decide. If I'm making prediction now before we hit 2025, I think it will be Nico Williams. Do I want to be Nico Williams? No, I would much rather have Rafael Leao, but I think in the end the club will decide to go for Nico Williams again. I think this time this summer he will come around, especially with Dani Olmo's registration always going through in the summer and in the present day as well. But wait and see how things do turn out, as the club are still with the main priority of focusing on signing a left winger as their marquee big summer signing this summer 2025. Now, a signing for the summer in which Barcelona want to tie down ASAP is Jonathan Tah. Now, Mateo Merito has come out saying that Barcelona want to seal Jonathan Tah's signing in the month of January to avoid competition from Bayern Munich or any other club. So Barcelona moving very, very rapidly on this Tah free agent move. Of course, he cannot speak to any other club legally until January hits, and once January does hit, Barcelona do have an idea of what he wants, what they want out of him, and they can get a basis of an agreement tied down very, very quickly. I hope this is the case. If, of course, the club decides to sign him, might as well do it as quickly and as effectively as possible, get it out the way, and have a summer signing already secured for once the summer does hit. I think it's great to move in as quickly as possible. If you look at the past free agent signs that we have done, I think Christensen was done around like March time. Garcia was done in like February. Inigo was done in like February. I don't think Gundogan, of course, wasn't done till the end of the season because they were going for the treble. I'm trying to think what else. I think Aguero was done like in April. Memphis was done in the summer. Eric Garcia was done in like April as well. So we tend to do the free agent signings pretty quickly. Only good one had to drag out because of course he was competing on all fronts until the very end of the season. And it was, of course, he's waiting for Man City to offer him a contract, and Man City told him they're not going to offer him the 2-year deal, and then we swooped in. So different situation there. But hopefully we can get this deal done as quickly as possible. And of course, we have already decided internally to go for Tah. I think it is a fairly big deal for free agent signings. Hope we can get it done during the month of January. That way, that's one situation, one less problem on our books to worry about during the summer. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. The only one that's being reported right now is Eric Garcia, as we do approach, of course, the January transfer window next week. Renewal have come out saying that Girona will go for Eric Garcia in January. The player only wants to leave to return there. Again, not a problem. I think it really comes down to what can make Barcelona budge in January, because again, the mindset of the club is clear. In January, no ins and no outs. I think the only way Eric Garcia leaves is if Girona fork up 10 to 15 million euros for him. I think even then it will be difficult to let him leave due to, of course, the squad depth issue that we do have, and also other contractual situations that are happening as well. I'll talk about that in just a few seconds. But again, I think the only way Eric Garcia leaves this January is if the price is right, and it's up to Girona to put the money where their mouth is. Now, a player who is unlikely to make a move from Barcelona until at least this summer is Pablo Torre. Now, Mateo Morito from Olivo came out saying the chances of Pablo Torre being loaned out in January are very low, almost zero. Flick wants him to stay with the squad until the end of the season. His contract, of course, runs out until 2026, and Barcelona would like to discuss a renewal in the coming months, but not in January. So the club are still committed for Pablo Torre. Whether he will renew his contract and go out on loan again remains to be seen. And again, Flick wants him to stay for the rest of the season. Why? Because Pablo Torre is just a really handy player to have. Won't complain, knows his role. He can be a 6th option and will like to go out and get more minutes, but will commit in the long run. I think that game against Barbastro next week will be so crucial for him, and I cannot wait to see what he does in that game, and hopefully a natural position in that midfield. I think he's a fantastic player, a player that can grow into something huge if given the opportunity and the chance, and we'll wait and see if Barcelona give it to him. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team of Barcelona. The first update we do have is on the contract renewal of both Ronald Araujo and Frenkie de Jong, as they're very much in the exact same situation. Now, AS have come out saying that Barcelona are very clear that Araujo and Frenkie de Jong are in the same situation. If they don't renew their contracts by the end of the season, they'll be placed on the transfer market and will be frozen out for the rest of the foreseeable future. Now, the fact they have until the end of the season does what? Of course, elongates this, buys every party time, not only Barcelona, but also the players as well. I am hearing that Deco has gone on vacation for the January transfer window, so ain't no shit getting done in the next couple of weeks, which is just swell to hear. But again, their situations is the ball's in their court. I can't really even blame Barcelona. They've offered them contracts, they've initiated talks. It's down to the players now to step forward. It really cannot be more to be done on the side of Barcelona. Now, we do have some updates on Frenkie de Jong's side. Firstly, his agent, Mr. Ali Dursun, has been speaking to the Telegraph in the Netherlands on the future of his client, saying the reports about a move to Saudi Arabia are nonsense. It distracts Frenkie from what he really wants, shining out Barcelona, the club that he loves the most. Who knows, maybe Barcelona and Frenkie de Jong stay together for an even longer time. So again, keeping the option wide open. I think again with Frenkie, it's very clear the club will renew him if he wants to stay. If he does not want to stay, the club have no issue in him leaving. Now, following the quotes from his agent Ali Dursun, the next morning, Mundo Deportivo, Fernando Polo has come out saying that from a sporting perspective, Frenkie de Jong is no longer viewed as a crucial or starting player for the team. Instead, he is seen as almost a secondary option, as the club now has many midfielders who are considered to be ahead of him. Barca doubts that Frenkie de Jong will improve his performances dramatically. The club believes he lacks the intensity needed to play at a level expected by their coach, leading to the club unlikely to renew his contract and will instead look to sell him. The club want to avoid letting him leave for free in 2026. However, if Barca decides to sell him and he refuses, the consequences could be tough. He could face a season with little to no playing time, which would be problematic ahead of the World Cup. Couple of things to dissect here. Number one, I think this is Barcelona playing the game. I don't think Barcelona see Frenkie de Jong as not a starting player, as he's crap, he cannot improve. This is all part of the lingo, all part of the movement, all part of contract negotiations. We've seen this so many times in the past. I still see journalists hopping on the fact that Eric Garcia is ahead of Frenkie de Jong in the pecking order. For me, that is absolute load of shit. The only factual part about this report is that last sentence. If Barcelona decide to sell him and he refuses, the consequences will be tough. Going into next season, it is going to be a World Cup season. We know that Ronald Koeman, he's of course a very strict manager, the manager of the national team. He picks the best players on what? On form and rhythm. He will not select any, let's say the best Dutch player of all time, Marco van Basten. He will not select Van Basten, even though he is the best striker in the Netherlands have, if he did not play for a whole season. And that is going to be a big factor that will play in the hands of Barcelona. Everything else is all politics. Is Aiden's saying, yeah, we can stay at Barcelona. He's saying that we're staying. Barcelona's saying, yeah, we want you to stay, but you're not playing well, and blah, blah, blah. Try to maybe bring down the numbers in the renewals. For me, all this first two paragraphs is all a farce. It's all just spitballing of an opinion that has no factual backing of the club. The club made it clear they want him to stay, and if he wants to stay, great, they can negotiate and talk. If he does not want to stay, they're happy to let him leave. At a point now where, you know, we saw Messi leave almost 4 years ago, ain't nothing else gonna phase the board, the fans, anything like that. Frenkie de Jong is not that kind of player. I don't even think Lamine Yamal is at that level yet. So we'll wait and see what happens with you know, even both Araujo and Frenkie. Despite this with Frenkie, I think Araujo is in the same spot. We're about to sign Jonathan Tah a free deal. Inigo Martinez is balling. Garcia is the next best thing since sliced bread. Araujo can come in, yes, and he has great pace and great strength, but if he can't hold an offside trap, can't ping a long ball to save his life, it ain't gonna go swell for him either. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out with the two situations. But again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the section, the ball is really in the players' course. The club can't do much more. We're waiting for the players now to make a move. And the final contract renewal update that we do have is on the contract renewal of Lamine Yamal. We have some more quotes from his agent and a long-lost friend of the football club Barcelona in Jorge Mendes. He came out speaking, saying that Lamine Yamal will probably renew his contract soon. He must continue at Barcelona. I cannot tell you if it will be a month or two from now, but he will definitely stay at the club. Can't get more reassurance than that. Lamine Yamal has also been speaking in the media as well, speaking to Barca once, saying that I will return better and more desire. I don't think I have suffered from the same injury as before. It was bad luck, a blow to the ankle, and these things can happen. So with this renewal, everything's on track. It's gonna happen. No worries there. We do have, of course, a very quick injury update on Lamine Yamal from Fernando Polo, saying that Lamine Yamal's ankle injury has improved significantly and he hopes to be fit for the game against Atletic Club on January the 8th, semi-final, Saudi Arabia, Spanish Super Cup. He will undergo tests in Barcelona today, and as the team resumes training after the Christmas break. Of course, today is the open training session following the 1 week break of Christmas for the players, so we'll see if he trains or not. Of course, he's been spending a lot of time in Dubai. We won't discuss the details of what players do on their vacations. I don't care what they do. I care what they do on the pitch, and hopefully we'll see Lamine Yamal on the pitch sooner rather than later. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. First up is some news in regards to our new signings for the B team, and some of them we're really excited to look for, mainly David Odoro and Aziz Issa. Sport have come out saying that the Ghanaian footballers David Odoro and Aziz Issa have struggled to establish themselves at Barca Atletic. Despite Odoro's prominent start, Aziz, on loan until the season ends, has played just 25 minutes in 2 matches. This comes from Barca's successfully stint with McAlfay, who was sold to Rennes for 10 million just 1 season, sparking hopes for similar success with Odoro and Aziz. So again, the club are really hoping that these talents would come in, turn a quick profit for Barcelona, but right now they are struggling to adapt. We've seen David Odoro come off the bench for Barca Athletic in some moments at left back, and again, with the left back position in the first team right now being quite weak, if he really shows something in the B team, he definitely could knock on the door. Keep in mind, both players have trained with the first team beforehand. I think during the month of October and November, they were training with the first team quite a bit until the B team really needed them. So again, they're still there, but they are struggling to adapt, and this is what comes with the risk of bringing talents from abroad. Victor Roque, another perfect example of that as well, is just not honed in on Africa, so to speak. It comes from everywhere. Some players adapt very well to situations, and some don't, and let's hope they do land on the positive side. Now, in some other news, the goalkeeper kits for next season have been leaked. There's the four, main designs. You'll probably see the black one and the green one quite a bit, but I think this is an important league because we're now seeing where the logos and badges are, and that's all just straight down the middle, which doesn't, I want to say sit well with me, but doesn't appeal to someone like me. I really would like the Nike logo to be on the side and the Barca badge to be on the side. We did in the middle this year just for the anniversary. I get that, but I like to keep it plain and simple, not to change things too much around. And if we're doing this for the goalkeeper kit, imagine what's going to happen for the home kit. I kind of feel bad for goalkeepers. No one really cares for them or wants them. I think the goalkeeper shirt sales are quite low unless you have a big fond of a goalkeeper or he's from your country or somewhat of a relation with him. But yeah, these are going to be the four designs. You get the, of course, the orange one, yellow one, black, and green. That'll based on depend on the opponents and what kit we wear for each game as well. But these are the four options that you can expect to see for next season. Now, the biggest talking point around Barcelona over the past 48 hours has, of course, been the news on the registration of both Pablo Víctor and Dani Olmo. Of course, we're waiting for that court hearing with the Supreme Court to get an answer for the automatic registration of both players. And we did get an answer for this yesterday. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that the committee court of Barcelona has rejected Barcelona's appeal for the registration of Dani Olmo. Barcelona has until, of course, 31st of December to register them and will present a new lawsuit against La Liga in the lower courts on December 30th, which of course is tomorrow. But the club do need backup plans in the event that these appeals with the courts don't take place, because we have, of course, until Tuesday at midnight. If we don't register Dani Olmo or Pablo Víctor, they will not be able to play again for Barcelona for the entire season. Now, the good news is, of course, the club have a lot of backup plans and they're on track to make this registration. There was, of course, the Global Soccer Awards a few nights ago, and Laporta was supposed to arrive and attend that event, but he decided to pull out last second and to work on the registration of Dani Olmo to make sure all of his work was done in order to find a solution. That there is a true working man. Now, of course, Sport came out saying that we have until December 31st to register both of them, and of course, there are many options to do so. You can secure 60 million for La Liga and also return the 1-1 rule via the VIP seats, or the board members can, submit their own money as a bank guarantee, like we did, of course, with Jules Koundé 2 years ago. So the options are there and the solution has been found. Now, Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona is advancing on a lever to enable the registration of Dani Olmo and Pablo Víctor. Barca has advanced a deal to sell a portion of Spotify Camp News VIP boxes, expected to generate around 100 million euros. Also, Fernando Polo came out saying there is still a long way to go before this necessary deadline is reached, but Barcelona has already closed a part of the lever of the sale of VIP tickets in Dubai, and that would help to sign Dani Olmo. Clubs would say that they hope to close the sale of the 100 million euros, which is planned to take place between today and tomorrow. Miguel Rico also confirmed that the President Jonathan Laporta has finalized the sale of VIP boxes for the Spotify Camp Nou and submitted the necessary documents to La Liga. The club is optimistic La Liga will validate it and allow the registration of Dani Olmo and Pablo Víctor. So in the end, the VIP boxes is going to be the way that Barcelona register these two players. Again, like I mentioned, I was never in doubt. There's never a worried bone in my body. When we saw the court, when the court appeal got rejected, I saw people losing their balls on social media. I'm like, bruh, this is the same rodeo we've been going through for 2 years now. I trust in this man like no tomorrow. He's not gonna fail us whatsoever. Imagine Dani Olmo not playing for the whole second half of the season. That look disgraceful on every single board member. I see people saying that, oh, it still looks bad that they still have to do this. Look, they took over when the club was on its knees begging for mercy, almost on the verge, pretty much on the verge of bankruptcy, and we're now on the verge of being healthy. I've seen some reports saying that this is also enough to bring Barcelona back to the 1-1 rule. I wouldn't count your chickens on that quite yet. Of course, this 100 million is not going to be 100 million going straight in. It's going to be over the course of 10 years, so only 10 million each year in installments. So I wouldn't, lose your balls over it. But again, the most important thing is that these two players will be re-registered, and we can focus, of course, on renewals, hopefully from now until the summer. I don't know about that because Deco's apparently on holiday. Great timing. So we'll see how things turn out, but regardless, do not have to worry about the Olmo and Pablo Víctor registration. It will be done in due course. Again, not finalized quite yet. The avenue is there. The agreement is there. Everything now is all about files and documents and submitting the right paperwork on time to make this a reality. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to see, of course, is your thoughts on the left winger signing. Who would you go for, Nico Williams or Rafael Leao? Secondly, on the thoughts on the Jonathan Tah free agent signing. Are you in favor for that or not? Thirdly, on the renewal of Araujo and Frenkie de Jong. I think both of them will renew. One of them maybe even neither. And finally, your thoughts on the registration process. Are you worried that Barcelona have to do this all the time? Do you trust Laporta? Do you think these registrations will go through in the end? And do you believe that Barcelona will return to the 1-1 rule before the summer transfer window? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.